Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Good morning, boys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Another beautiful Thursday morning. Hello, guys. Hope you guys are doing good. Welcome to the stream. AJ, good morning, brother. Good morning, good morning. Yesterday was crazy FOMC yesterday. You guys were in the stream, we had fun, man. We flipped a 10k demo account into 100k yesterday. It was actually insane. Still on demo? Not, we're back on live today. But last night was fun. FOMs, I don't know if you guys were able to catch any trades after that as well. Hope you're better today. Last night you weren't you like, what was I doing last night? Let me put this in the frame for you guys. What was I doing last night, G? It was like not looking at the person I knew. What do you mean, bro? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, brother? What do you mean by that? I was not looking at the person I knew. I'm confused. I am confused, man. I'm confused. Like it was not a normal day? Like the live stream was different, you mean? The live stream, because it was FOMC, so we're having fun with it. We're having fun. Welcome guys, welcome to the live stream. We're just gonna wait for a little bit of people to get in. Let's get some likes up, come on. Let's get some likes up so more people can join. Tap that screen, legends, tap that screen. You know how it works. As soon as you should be joining, you should be tapping that screen, come on. It allows me to get this live to be pushed to other people. Blaze, welcome. NBX, welcome. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Let's see what the market wants to give us today. Let's do some analysis post FOMC. Chart SSS. This is gold. Chart. This is the gold chart. Tap that screen, guys. Come on, tap that screen. Get that finger strength in. Come on. We're not gonna start until we have at least 1k likes. There we go. Thank you, SS. There we go. What do you think about Euro USD, bro? I don't personally trade Euro USD. I trade GBP USD sometimes. But GU just had the biggest dump in the world yesterday, so I imagine EU just did the same. It's a shame because I was looking for shorts on GU for a while now, but we were just consolidating, and then obviously FOMC just took all our targets yesterday. So in terms of where I expect price to go, it's a little bit of a tricky one. Thank you guys. Blaze, welcome to the live. Welcome Tata S, thank you for the likes, I appreciate it. Let's get it to at least 1k, come on, so that this stream can be pushed to others. Come on guys, come on. Show the TikTok algorithm that you actually want to learn and be here. So important for the live stream. Abigail, welcome Abigail. Please tap that screen, thank you for the likes. Let's get it up, get that finger strength in. We are here to learn trading and to improve. Best trading bot. Oh, the rich man, the bots are already starting. We just started the live stream. Let's see what goes on. Let's see what goes on today. Dun, 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 dun. So today it's going to be the last day that we trade this week, because tomorrow we have bank holiday. So today is going to be the last day that we're going to be trading for this week. We will still be on live tomorrow. Maybe we might do a more of an educational live. Maybe we might talk about some topic, answer some questions you guys might have. However, today will be officially the last trading day of the week. Trading bot, for real. Thank you, Abigail. I appreciate the likes. Thank you guys, everyone who's joining. Hope you guys are having a beautiful start to your Thursday morning. We had this huge sell-off on gold yesterday during FOMC. For those of you guys that were in the stream, I hope you guys found that entertaining. It was probably one of the streams where I've never laughed so much, to be fair. Just the way that we entered short and it was literally the top of this move. That was pretty cool. What strat do I use? I don't have a fixed strat, Lenny. What I do is I do a higher time frame to bottom analysis, and then I mark out key levels on the chart, and then I wait for a reaction once my key levels get hit. Sometimes I'll get in a trade off a fair value gap, sometimes I'll get in off a trade off an order block, sometimes off a session high or low sweep. It varies. I don't have a fixed mechanical model. I sort of just read the chart, identify the levels where I believe that price will have the biggest reaction to. I wait for the reaction, and if we get it, I enter. I don't like to cap myself to one specific strategy because it blocks me from allowing me to trade every other market as well. If I want to trade crypto, I can. If I want to trade Forex, if I want to trade gold, if I want to trade stocks, I can, because I'm just reading price action. Jesus is crying. Why are you crying, bro? What's happening? But overall, the concepts that I use is ICT. I trade ICT. So the confluences that I look for before entering a trade, they all fall under that. So sort of fair value gaps, order blocks, equilibrium, liquidity sweep, all that sort of stuff. Why are you sad, King? How can you be sad when your name's like that, bro? If your name's like that, how can you be sad, bro? Abigail, thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. Come on, guys, tap that screen. Let's get that TikTok algorithm pushing the lives out. I think every single time TikTok's got something weird going on with my live streams, it's not pushing them anymore as much as they did before. Jesus loves you, exactly. How can you have a username like that, bro, and you're going around telling people that you're sad, bro? Come on, you need to find the light within. Brother. This will cheer you up, though. Every single morning when we hop on live, we always go through our gratitude checklist, okay? But this is the most important thing. As traders, you want to put yourself in the right mindset, right? In the right headspace before you want to hop on the charts, okay? So gratitude is one of those things that puts you back into a state that makes you feel happy. Jesus, feeling sad, you put yourself back into a state of gratitude, makes you appreciate the small things, okay? That's the only way that you can actually grow. Thank you for the follow, brother. Okay? Gratitude, honestly, guys, is one of the most important and most fundamental things that I try to stick to on a day-to-day basis, is at least having a moment where I can be grateful for even the smallest of things. So, for example, I always read this out. I'm grateful that I woke up today. I could have easily been sick. I could have easily been in hospital, but I'm here another day on live stream talking to you guys, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the air that I breathe, my healthy body, that I'm healthy, that I'm able to do all the things that I want to be doing on a day-to-day basis. I'm grateful for the opportunity to trade and build my future. I'm so grateful that I have trading as my job. It allows me to do so many things. It allows me to be free, right? It allows me to live a simple life, which is the life that I want to live, okay? And trading allows me to do that. I'm extremely grateful. I'm grateful for everyone who believes in me. Thank you for everyone who's in this live stream. I'm grateful that I believe in myself, that I was able to take the decisions that put me onto this path, okay? And I'm grateful now that I'm able to travel the world and make money at the same time. That is the biggest thing about trading, which I absolutely love, is that it unlocks time freedom and it unlocks location freedom, right? Allowing you to travel to be wherever you want in the world, and all you need is an internet connection and you can trade. And that is something that it's unique, it's rare, right? Not every job can allow you to do that. So amen to that. Amen to that, guys. Gratitude is just, it's amazing. Fills your heart up with joy. What app is this? This is the journal app, brother. There is just a section in the journal app that it's called Vision and Mindset. So every day when we go hop on live stream, we read this first things first. Because this opens up your heart to receive nice things, okay? You open up your heart to gratitude, okay? You're telling the universe, you're telling God that you're appreciative of the things that you already have. So it makes up room for more. So that's super key. And it's called, if you guys want to have this, it's called Mind Edge Pro. Mind Edge Pro. If you're in the Discord, you get access to Mind Edge for free because it is a platform that I built. So that's what you want. Okay. Now that we've done our gratitude, let's get into gold. Let's get into gold. What do we see for today? What opportunities can the market potentially give us? Okay. And how can we capitalize on these opportunities, considering this is the last day that we're going to be trading, right? So what's our trade strat today? Blizzy. Welcome to the live stream, brother. So the strat for today, let's just exit absolutely everything on the chart. Let's exit everything on the chart and let's start from fresh. On the weekly time frame, what do we see? What do we see on the weekly time frame? Okay, we still see that we have still not made this weekly candle bottom wick, right? Yesterday we did reject, but we haven't still made this bottom wick on the weekly candle. So either today we're going to get some more bearish momentum and sell off, okay? Or this is going to be a target for next week. If this weekly candle closes like this, okay, next week I will be targeting this 100% and I'll be looking for shorts down to 4,200, okay? Because this wick will definitely get hit 100%, okay? However, for now, that's not important, okay? We can just have it marked out on the chart, right? Let me mark it out. Candle with no wick. Where is it? No wick. There we go. Like to no wick. Okay, now let's scale down to the daily. Scale down to the daily time frame. What do? You always want to mark out the previous daily low and the previous daily high. Okay, so what you guys also see, look, the previous daily low of yesterday, okay, of the candle low is the same level as the no wick. So that's also another confluence, right? So we can mark this out, okay, and we can mark previous day low. And here you've got the previous day low plus candle with no wick. Okay, so that's two confluences here on the previous day low. Okay, just made 462 for my first funded. Congrats, Leonard. Congrats, brother. Hopefully you're gonna pass that bad boy and get some payouts from it. Okay, now we also want to mark out the previous day high. Okay, the previous day high is all the way up here, right? Obviously, what does this look like, guys? What does this look like? It looks like price is closer to the previous day low than it is to the previous day high, doesn't it? Yeah, so logistically, like logically, okay, price today is probably, there's more chances that we come down to this previous day low than we come all the way up here to take this previous day high. Okay, so you can already start imagining, right, in your mind that shorts is probably going to be the play for today and the play for next week. Okay, that's just an easy way to see where the sort of the direction of the market wants to be for the day, right? If the previous daily candle high is all the way up here, right, and the low is just down here, right, the chances of us coming to the low is pretty high. Okay, it's higher than it coming all the way up to the high. Okay, if we scale down to the 4 hour, okay, wait, before we scale down to the 4 hour, let's just notice this as well. Let's just notice this. There is a daily fair value gap right here. Okay, you see this daily fair value gap? Right now we have not closed below it yet, right? We are still respecting it. This candle came all the way down here yesterday, but we still managed to close above. Okay, now the minute that we're gonna get a candle closure on the daily time frame, potentially next week, okay, or today, we'll see what price action does. right? But if we get a candle closure below 4,245, which means that this daily candle is going to get inversed, okay, what will we expect price to do, right? If this is the only thing holding price up, right, as a bullish for value gap, the buyers created this in order to have that launch pad to keep pushing price higher, right? But if the sellers decide to take control over this, okay, and close below this daily fair value gap, it means that we're going to potentially continue lower, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. However, for now, we are still respecting it and we are still trading within it. However, this is something that you do want to start paying attention to, and we will start paying attention to once we get a candle closure below this level, okay? So now, since that we've identified on the daily time frame, okay, that we are expecting price to come lower, right, because the previous day low is closer to price than the previous day's high, okay, so already shorts are winning in my mind right now, okay? We scale down to the 4 hour. What are you saying, N4 brother? Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream, bro. Hope you're having a beautiful Thursday. The GOAT, what's up? Neo, what's up, legend? How we doing? Okay, so now that we've identified our levels on the daily time frame, okay, let's scale down and let's start seeing where could we potentially want to enter price to take us lower, okay? Where could be potentially the levels where price could react from, okay? Well, looking at the, Jesus, why does my trading view do this? One sec. Reset chart view. Why is it zoomed in, man? What is going on? Sometimes my trading view just bugs. Let me just cancel that. Trading view. Alright, there we go. There we go. Good. We're back in business. We're back in business. Now, what do we see? We see that yesterday we had created this tiny 4 hour fair value gap up here, right? See that? We came up into it, we tapped into it, and now we're currently pushing lower, right? So looking at this, price shouldn't really come up above here again. If we are correct and we are expecting price to push lower, right? Price shouldn't really come up above this high anymore. It should be protected. Okay, because when a candle taps into a fair value gap and pushes off it, that high is protected, right? So technically for stop loss placements, that should be a protected area, okay? So if we are looking for shorts and we are expecting price to come down lower today, right? We will expect price to react somewhere within this area here, okay? Somewhere within this area here would be the good place to look for shorts, okay? Now, the ideal scenario that would come up a little bit more, okay, and then continue down, right? We're going to see what New York wants us to do, okay? Also, for yesterday, for those guys that were in the live stream, okay, I was telling you guys how you guys could have potentially taken a trade after FOMC, right? And what I was telling you guys is whenever this candle was open and it hadn't closed yet, I always said, wait for the candle to close after FOMC drops, okay, either the 15-minute or the 1 hour, okay? And what you want to do is you want to mark out the 50% level of this candle, okay? Because whenever an FOMC or a big red folder news event drops, okay, we're going to have that initial push down. And if price wants to continue into the direction that the news went, right, you always just want to mark out the 50% of the candle, okay? And as you can see, the 50% candle, the 50% area of the candle, it got hit perfectly, right? And then we continued selling off, okay? This usually is because there is going to be a lot of people who are going to be FOMOing shorts whenever a big red folder news event drops, right? There's going to be a lot of people, as soon as they see price dropping fast, they want to get involved with the action, okay? So in order for price to want to continue going lower, what it will always do is at least retrace 50% of the candle that was formed during the news event, okay? That allows to take at least half of the traders out who FOMO during this move, okay? And then the market also is entering in a discount area. All right, I'm not going to get too much into that, but this basically is the area where all the big banks and all the institutions are ready to enter their positions, and then price continued lower, right? Okay, so that's just a easy and quick way that if you guys do want to take advantage of the news events, because you never really want to be trading before the red folder drops, okay, but after, okay, just mark out the 50% area of the candle. Okay, that's just a little tip. Also, yesterday, this whole week, guys, remember how I'm always preaching candles with no wicks, candles with no wicks, candles with no wicks. You can use those as targets, right? Look what happened yesterday, right? The news event happened, we came down, and what did we do? We literally came and tapped this candle without no bottom wick. Perfectly. These are areas I'm telling you that should not be on the chart, right? A candle should have a top and bottom wick at all times. So whenever there's a candle that prints without either a top or a bottom wick, the market will always try to go for it and tap it, right? And you can use these as targets, okay? Or you can use these as confluences, okay? So now that let me just go back, because we just took away our daily low and high. There we go. There we go. Okay, so me personally, I am expecting price to come down today and sell off to this previous day's low. Okay, I am expecting this move because why? Because on the higher time frame, on the 4 hour, yesterday we had this sell zone marked out. This was the last 4 hour, this was the last target that I was expecting gold to push into. There isn't really anything else above price, right? Unless price just flips super bullishly, right? We do have some low resistance liquidity here. Okay, low resistance liquidity is when you have highs stacked up together or lows stacked up together. Okay, this is a form of liquidity. It means that there is a lot of money above these highs, right? So this potentially could be an area that price could want to go to, right? And then we do have a fair value gap up here, which hasn't been filled yet. Okay, up here. However, I personally think that we're not going to want to come up to these price ranges just yet. All right, I do believe that gold just does want to come down a little bit lower. And for now, I believe that we did tap into the area which is going to continue this move down, which has been this 4 hour gap. Okay, so now that we've got this 4 hour gap, which was our sell zone yesterday, that's where we full ported our demo account yesterday on FOMC. Oh, that was a funny live stream. Okay, now we are expecting price to come down lower. Okay, we are expecting price to come down lower. Now, in terms for entries, let's look at this. In terms for entries. Where could we potentially want to be entering this trade? Let me scale down quickly to the 5 minute. Okay, so there's a couple things here that I just noticed. Okay, a couple things. So right now we are still trading, okay, within this bullish 4 hour gap. Okay, price is still currently trading into it, and we are still respecting it as of right now. Okay, the moment where we will get a 4 hour candle closing below this area of 4,235, okay, that's going to confirm that the sellers are taking over and price is likely to push lower. Okay, but for now, if this fair value gap here holds, right, we could still see higher prices. Okay, however, if we are expecting price today, right, to come down to this previous day's low, okay, this means that the candle is going to come down to these areas anyways, and if we get a close, well, it's going to set us up for shorts next week perfectly. Because tomorrow it's a bank holiday, so we're not going to be trading. Today is the last day of the week, technically, that is good to trade. Okay, it's going to be an early weekend. So in terms for entries on this puppy to take us down to this previous day's low, okay, if we scale onto the 1 hour time frame, what do we see? Okay, we see that we have these bullish fair value gaps to the left of price. Right here, we have one of them here, 1 and 2. Okay, now what did price do? During London session, we came down and we closed below these areas. Okay, so what do these fair value gaps now become? These are now inverse fair value gaps, right? So we would expect price to tap into them, okay, and continue lower. Okay, so right now we are already tapping into this 1 hour inverse here. However, I would like a bit more of a retracement. Okay, and this is where we can start looking for our confluence levels, okay, and our areas on the chart where all our confluences line up. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a 1 hour fair value gap, okay, which has now turned into an inverse, okay, because the candle closed below it. Okay, what do we have also within this price range? we have a new bearish fair value gap that was created. Okay, so we have an inverse fair value gap, okay, inverse plus a new FVG, okay, and then what else do we have that could potentially act as confluences? What do we always do? We take out the Fibonacci extension tool, okay, to mark our retracement levels, right from the most recent high to the most recent low, okay. So we pull it from the top, drag it, and see what else lines up with these areas. Oh, perfect. Look, equilibrium, right? The 0.5% level of the Fibonacci retracement tool lines up perfectly with this 1 hour inverse with this new fair value gap. Okay, so we can just start narrowing down our zone, right? And this is how we find the key levels on our chart. Okay, right here we have inverse plus new fair value gap plus the 0.5 fib level. Okay, so this is a good high confluence zone. So if we are expecting price to come down lower, right, we will not be looking for shorts or entries up until price comes up to this zone. Okay, so let's just mark this out. This can be our sell zone, right? The sell zone is going to be from, what is this, 4,291 to 4,296. Okay, that's going to be my first sell zone for gold, right? Let me actually just mark it out. So go. And you always want to try keep your chart as clean as possible. Okay, so that's why it's useful for me to label them, because I will remember them in the future. Okay, so you want to try keep your chart as clean as possible so that the noise, it's not like too noisy, and you can just be focused on the levels that are the best. Thank you for the follows, I appreciate it. Thank you. The real Hadid, thank you for the follows, guys. So now that we've identified this first level, do we have any other zones that price could react from? Right, price technically could, guys. It doesn't have to come up to this sell zone level. Okay, it doesn't have to come up to here. Okay, price could just do this, right, and then come down straight. Okay, however, are we going to be as interested in taking it if it does that? No, because it is not a high confluence area on the chart, right? So I'm not going to be fully comfortable in taking it. Price could react from anywhere, right? But that's why it's important to have your levels and to stick to them, right? That's also where it comes down to having a plan, okay? So for me, I would expect price to come up, right, into at least this area and continue selling off, okay? Now, let's say we don't react from here, okay? Let's say we don't react from here and we decide to push up higher, okay? Where could we potentially want to push up higher to? Okay, we have this 30-minute fair value gap here, which for some reason price didn't tap into it. We came really close during Asian session. If you guys don't know where Asian session is, London session is, New York session is, I have this indicator on TradingView. It's free. Okay, it's called FXN Asian session range. Okay, this is the indicator, and what it does is it marks out where all the different session highs and lows are. Okay. So for example, in my chart, I have Asian session is red, London session is yellow, and New York session is green. Okay, so we can see that during Asian session, we came really close to this 30-minute fair value gap up here. Okay, but we didn't tap into it, right? This is price generating liquidity, right? We're generating. So what would we expect? We would expect either if this sell zone doesn't hold, and we start being bullish and pushing up, we have this other second sell zone up here, okay? And what do we have at this confluence level here on the sell zone? We have a 30-minute fair value gap, okay? Let's mark it out. We have a 30. Thank you for the follows, guys, I appreciate it. The indicator, it's called FXN's Asian session range, this one. FXN Asian session range by Rob Minty. This one here. It's the one with 13.9k boosts on TradingView. This one here, FXN Asian session range Rob Minty. What this does is going to mark out all the different sessions on your chart, right? So what do we have in this sell zone? We have a 30-minute fair value gap, okay, plus Asian highs, right? Asian highs are right here, okay? And then do we have any other confluences that we could potentially mark out? Let's see, let's draw a fib extension tool from the top, from the high all the way down to the low. Okay, do we have anything lining up? Not really. Like we have the 786 level up here, but it's not really lining up perfectly with this, the start of this fib gap and with this Asian highs. Like we could drag this sell zone up above like this. We could drag it like this, but this is too big of a zone, to be fair. This is too big of a zone. But for example purposes, I mean, you know, it doesn't hurt to have that. At least we can know that this is an area that we will be interested in looking for shorts if price comes up here, right? So we mark it out. We have a 30-minute fair value gap, Asian highs, and the 786 level. Okay, now we can get rid of that because it's just noise. Okay, here we go. So we've identified two sell zone area. Is there another place where price could run to react from? I just noticed this now. We have, look at this. We have two highs above here, right? We have two highs here, which is also a form of liquidity, right? We have two highs close together, okay? As well as we also have this 30-minute fair value gap, okay? And we also have London highs. So this area is actually really good, right? This area is actually really good. So let's mark this out, right? We have, boom, this is our second sell zone, okay? Boom, sell zone. What do we have in this sell zone? We have London highs, right? You can see here, guys, London in my chart is marked out in yellow. Okay, this is the start of the London session, right? It's the start of where the yellow starts. Okay, so this is the highest point that London session went. Okay, and this is the lowest point down here. Okay, so let's mark this out. We have London highs, okay, plus a 30-minute fair value gap, okay, plus I wouldn't call these equal highs. They're not equal highs, but whenever you see highs stacked up together like this, and this high didn't sweep the previous one, okay, and there is a fair value gap above, you know that there is liquidity here, right? So you can use it as a target. So liquidity, you can just say resting highs. Okay. Do we have anything else? Does our Fibonacci line up with this zone at all? Does it line up with this zone at all? Let's see. We drag it from the high all the way down to the low. Thank you for the follows, guys. I appreciate it. Okay. We don't have something exactly onto our area. Like we do have the Fibonacci 7. We do have the 0.618 just below, but it's not lining up perfectly with this area. So I wouldn't say it's a perfect confluence zone. So we're gonna X that out. Do we have anything if we drag it from the top? Let's check it out. From the top all the way down to the bottom. Let's see. No, not really. Not any other confluences, guys. This is the only ones really that are really matching up with everything. Right, let me just put, is there a way to make this a little bit smaller, because it's just a little bit annoying. Okay, let me take a picture of this, guys, and I'm going to put it into the Discord, because this is also the analysis for the day. Right, now that we've just identified our sell zones, well, we're going to also identify buy zones, right? Because in trading, you always want to have a plan for both. Okay, you always want to have a plan for both sides, because you never know where price is going to want to go. Right, you never know where price want to go. Thank you, Clem, for the follow. I appreciate it. Yo, Sam. Sorry, guys, I'm not checking messages right now. I'm just doing the analysis. I need to focus. This is also my job, so I appreciate every single one of you guys commenting, but I just can't do two things at once. I need to focus, and I need to actually, absorb the information that I'm trying to explain. This is just my thought processes. If I was not on live stream and I was just sitting alone at my desk, which is what I've done for the past 4 years, right? I've only started recently going live, okay? Because I was like, why not try to see if I can help other people, okay? And so this is just me speaking out loud. So apologies if I'm not answering to any of your questions, but for now, it's just really not the priority, right? I just need to get this done. This is also for the Discord group, right? People are expecting analysis from me. What are my thoughts for the day? Okay, so this is what I'm just doing. I decided to go live on it because why not? Why not? I think the whole point of learning a skill like trading or learning any skill is to try to just provide as much value as possible, right? People are thinking, oh yeah, bro, you're just coming on live to try to sell a course. First of all, I haven't got a course, right? Everything I offer is free, okay? And second of all, isn't that the whole point of coming on live, is to spread information of a skill that is already very high in demand and it's hard? And so if people can come onto a live stream that is free and learn something and potentially help their trading, right? Isn't that the whole point? That's the whole point, in my opinion, for me at least. Okay, so for the Discord, let's go to there. Let's go to my section. Where is it? Gold. Go to gold. Okay, there we go. Here are my sell zones for gold. I am expecting price to push lower today, hopefully taking the previous day's low. And you can see, guys, this is not just some signals group where I'm just telling you to buy or sell, right? This is generally something where I'm just posting what I see on the market to help you guys if you need some certain direction or a second bias, right? I would prefer if you don't take the trades exactly as me. So I do try to explain my full process as much as I can, right? So that's why I'm also doing on these lives, right? So right now we just marked our sell zones. Okay, hello, these are my sell zones. Let's see if I can input the chart. Sometimes TradingView doesn't allow me to input the charts. Oh mate, don't tell me I've done this again. How do I share my chart? Let's see. Copy link. Copy link. Can I share my chart? Is it gonna let me? Boom, look at that. Let's go, baby. It's also let me put my chart. Look at them. The people are already active. 4 hearts already, and I just posted this 20 seconds. I'm telling you guys, these are the levels which, you know, it gives people an idea of where they can expect price to go so they can be prepared. Okay? So now let's mark our buy zones. We've got our sell zones. Let's mark our buy zones in case. Bro, can you add me to the Discord, Dragon? Dragon, I swear you're already in the Discord, brother, no? I swear you're already in there. And by the way, guys, I have 2 communities, okay? The Telegram is completely free, okay? It's in my TikTok bio. You just press it and you get to join, okay? And then my Discord is also completely free. However, everyone inside is trading on the same platform, on the same broker, okay? Because my Discord is like my free mentorship. It's my community. So I want everyone trading under the same conditions. So that's the only requirement, okay? The only thing is that if you are living in a country that doesn't allow the broker that we use, which is Vantage, okay, then it is a small monthly membership. But that's about 2% of 100, right? Because there's only people in the United States. I think it's in what's that place? There is some places where Vantage isn't allowed to be from. Okay, so then I don't have a fixed price for the monthly membership for the Discord. I just say whatever is your budget, feel free. That's literally what I tell people. Whatever is your budget, that's how much I'm willing. I'm gonna say this is what my Discord gives you guys. This is what I offer. How much is your budget, and how much would you be willing to pay for this on a monthly? And then some people, they give me different range of prices, and I'm like, all right, sweet. If it sounds like a good deal, I'll take it. Okay, but that's only for 2%. Otherwise, it's completely free because all you need to do is just sign up to the broker. The broker gives you a 150% deposit bonus. Okay, that's why Vantage is one of the brokers that I like to partner up with, because they give their users 150% deposit bonus. So it's just very generous because it literally doubles your trading account instantly. Okay, so, and then I've got my Telegram. If you guys don't care about my Discord and you just want to be in the Telegram, which is completely free, I post in there sometimes. I always use this analogy. The Telegram is like having access to my phone number, and the Discord is like having access to my actual cell phone. That's the difference. Okay, so now let's check our buy zones for gold. Let's check our buy zones. We've got our sell zones marked. Now what happens if we decide to dump straight from here, right? Because that is a possibility, guys. That is a possibility that we dump straight from here. We don't always have to come up to our sell zones. That is just the area where we are prepared and we expect and we would like price to go. However, price has its own mind. Okay, so if we dump from here, okay, where could be the areas on the chart that we could be interested in? Okay, so just looking at this purely, okay, let's start on the 4 hour quickly. Do we have anything on the 4 hour that is very obvious? I mean, we're gonna get to this, but yes, we do have this 4 hour gap all the way down here, right? But this is just not we don't need to worry about this because it's already so far away from price, right? So we want to focus on a more closer scale. Okay, let's focus on a more close scale. Do we have anything here? I mean, we are still trading within this 4 hour gap. Okay, so this could still hold price up. Do we have any lows? Okay, we have this 4 hour low here. Okay, no, sorry, not this 4 hour. It's probably a 1 hour low. We'll probably see it once we scale down to lower time frames. Okay, we have this low here. And then what do I always preach, guys? Whenever you see a wick like this, okay, on the chart, whenever you see a wick like this on the chart, okay, which is a big wick, you always expect price to at least fill either 50% of it, okay, or the full wick, okay? So we're just gonna mark out the 50% of the wick and let's see if that's gonna line up with any confluences as well, okay? Now, we don't really have anything else on the 4 hour which could potentially interest us, so let's scale down to the 1 hour. Okay, on the 1 hour, do we see anything? No, there is no fair value gaps here. No, there is no other lows. There's no equal lows. There's nothing. Right? So, oh my God, 1 second. 1 second, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. I'm getting called up. Pronto, mister? Ciao, pa, sono su chiamata. Dimmi. No, stamattina non sono andato, papà, no. Ma dopo vado. Ti chiamo dopo, adesso sono in chiamata, ciao. Ok, ciao. We good. Yo, Henrik, welcome. Dick Papa, welcome. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it, guys. Okay, let's get back to marking out our buy zones. Okay, so do we have anything on the 1 hour time frame? No, we don't. Okay, do we have anything on the 30-minute time frame which we could potentially be interested in? No, not really. We had this 30-minute fair value gap here, right? We had this, but we have already tapped into it. Okay, we have already tapped into it. So this isn't as strong as the target anymore. Okay, if we hadn't tapped into this fair value gap, I would say, okay, this would be a good level. But we have already tapped into it, so we're not too focused. Now let's scale down to the 15-minute. Okay, do we see anything? Oh, yes, we do. Let me check if TikTok wants to do the verification thing. Oh no, we're good. Yes, we do have something on the 15-minute. Pretty juicy, guys. Pretty juicy. We have these two lows, okay, which you can see that the second low didn't sweep the first low, right? So this is a form of liquidity. Okay, so we have liquidity here, okay, with these two lows. And also, what do we have? A 15-minute fair value gap, which is untouched, resting under this liquidity, which is perfect. Okay, there we go. So we have just identified a level where price could potentially react from. Okay, let's scale down to the 5-minute. Can we see anything even on a smaller time frame, right? Okay, yeah, we do. Here we go. We can even narrow it down even more. Look, we have a 5-minute fair value gap within a 15-minute fair value gap. So this is a way that if you guys can see that time frames are overlapping, right? You want to scale down to the lowest time frame so that you can narrow your zone down. Look, you can see that this zone is currently big, right? But the 5-minute fair value gap, right? It starts here. So I can start making it here. Okay, so I can move it from here. There we go. And then we can narrow our zone down. Okay, so there we go. This area on the chart can be our buy zone. Okay, why are we? Let's see if we can have some other confluences on the chart. Let's draw the Fibonacci retracement tool. Let's take the Fibonacci. Let's draw it from the low to the high. Okay, before, guys, this is how you use the fib. Look, before we're looking for retracements to continue short, right? So when you're looking for retracements to continue short, okay, you always want to draw the fib extension tool from the high all the way down to the low. Okay, however, if you are looking for retracements to go long, okay, you always draw it from the bottom all the way up to the high. Okay, so since now we're looking for buy zones, okay, we draw it from the bottom to the high. So what you do is you click at the low and you drag it all the way up to the top. Okay, what do we see any levels that are in confluence with our zone? No, not really. We have the 0.618, which we just tapped into it now. The 786 is all the way down here. So there isn't really anything within this area, right? So we can cancel that, okay? Now, on a bigger time frame, do we see anything that is... I mean, no, there's no point doing that. There's no point doing that. Okay, so now we have identified this level here, so we can call this our buy zone. I appreciate the follow rate, thank you. Okay, so let's mark this out. Let's mark this out, our buy zone. Thank you, Cakes, appreciate the follow. Where is it? Buy zone, there we go. Okay, so that's our first buy zone. Thank you for the follows, guys, I appreciate it. Cakes, thank you, bro, I appreciate it. I try my best to simplify the concepts as much as I can. I am aware, guys, that there is going to be people in this live with all different experience levels, right? Some of you guys are trading for years, some of you guys just started. So, you know, it's tricky to try explain things in a way that everyone will at least be able to gain some value from it. No, I appreciate it. I hope that some of you guys are learning some things, okay? The biggest take of this, guys, that you want to have is you always want to, the biggest thing of what I'm doing now is the fact that you always want to be prepared, right? In terms of you want to have areas on the chart where you were expecting price to go so that we can continue lower for shorts. And you want to have levels on the chart where if price was going to come down to it, then you would expect buys, right? Because we can never know exactly what the market wants to do, but we can be prepared regardless of what it does, okay? So this is how we can start building our idea, right? Look, guys, we have just identified this buy zone here. Okay, this buy zone right here, we've identified it. Now, if price decides to come down here first, okay, if price does decide to come down here first before we take any of our sell zones that we marked out, right, then what could we potentially expect? Well, since we do expect price to come up first, right, our original idea was price to come up to then come down. Okay, that was what our original idea was. However, if price does decide to come down first, okay, well, this area on the chart, if we start getting some reactions, okay, then maybe we would expect price to want to come up from here, right, which would make sense. And we could use these sell zones that we marked out as our take profit targets, right? Why would we use these as our take profit targets? Because these are areas on the chart, right, which have the highest confluences, which the levels line up the most. Okay, so this is how you can use your zones as take profit targets as well for your trades. Okay, Lucy, I'm gonna do that more into detail tomorrow, because tomorrow is a bank holiday, so we're not going to be trading, but I'll be on live and I will talk about all the concepts into more detail. However, right now it's just I need to do the analysis for people who are expecting it in the Discord, and so that I can be prepared for New York. So I'm just trying to be as educational as I can for just the way that I read the chart. But tomorrow we'll do a more educational live stream where I just go through the concepts. Maybe we'll talk about some psychology, we'll talk about prop firms, all of that sort of stuff. Thank you guys for the likes, I appreciate it. 2K likes, you guys are insane. Simone, thank you. Simon, not Simone, thank you, bro, I appreciate the follow. Okay, so now we've identified this buy zone, as I was saying. Okay, if we were to come down, we could expect price to come up higher. Thank you guys for the follow. Vritra, Tattershall, guys, sorry, your usernames, they go so quick. Adrian, I don't trade Euro USD, unfortunately. I trade GBP USD sometimes, but I heavily focus on gold and Nasdaq. Those are the two things. Real Caps, thank you for the likes. Podcast, thank you for the follows, guys, I appreciate it. Okay, now, do we have any other buy zones that we could potentially be interested in? Okay, we've just marked this first one. Let's say price come down here, okay, and we don't get a reaction from it. Okay, where could price potentially want to go to next? Okay, where could price want to potentially go to next? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Do we have anything saucy here? No, not really. Do we have anything saucy here? No, not really. Okay, well, it doesn't look, guys, to me, the way that I'm reading the market, it doesn't look like there is anything really that strong apart from this buy zone here. So in my thoughts, if we come down to this level, right, and we don't get a reaction, okay, I would expect us to actually come down and take yesterday's low, right? Because there isn't really anything within this area here which could really stop price, right? So if the selling pressure is truly hard and we come here and we don't get a reaction, I will expect us to continue to this previous day low, okay? And this could be our next area, which could be our next buy zone, right? So we can mark this out. We have previous day's low right here, okay? And then let's see if we have some other confluences. Let's scale down to the, thank you, LBXN 1445. And what is this right now? This is gold right now, Adrian. This is gold right now. We're gonna go through NASDAQ in a second as well. Now let's mark out if we can see any levels in confluence with yesterday's low. So we're marking out the Fibonacci extension tool, okay, from the low all the way up to the high. Okay, do we see anything? Nothing is lining up perfectly, right? But we do see that we have this 0.5 level below price here. We have the 0.5 level of this range below price. So let's see if there's anything else that is important with this level. Let's see if we can find some other confluences. What do we have? Do we have a 15-minute fair value gap under this 0.5 level? Okay, yeah, we do. There we go, guys. There we go. We do. Look, we have a 15-minute fair value gap here, which is untapped. Okay, we haven't tapped into it yet. This low came really close, but we didn't tap into it yet, resting under this 0.5 Fibonacci level. Okay, let's mark it out. Perfect. And what do we also have, guys? We also have forms of liquidity. Look, we have this low and this low. There we go. Look, this low, we didn't sweep it, right? We didn't come down and take this out. So this is just a form of liquidity. So perfect. Look, we have a 15-minute fair value gap. We have the 0.5 Fibonacci level, and we have liquidity. Perfect. That's already 2 or more confluences. That's all we need in order to identify a key level. Okay, so let's mark. And also, I nearly forgot, we also have a 15-minute order block. Right, we have a 15-minute order block right here. Because what is an order block? It's a series of down candles before the move up. Okay, so you can see these 2 down candles here, these 2 black candles, they follow each other before a move up, which broke structure to the upside, right? So this is a valid order block, okay? When price pushes above a high and closes above it, okay, after a series of down candles, this now becomes a good price range, okay? So we have, let's mark these confluences out before I forget it. So we have a 15-minute fair value gap. Thank you guys for all the follows, I appreciate it. 15-minute fair value gap, plus what do we have? Liquidity, okay, we said from these lows, okay. What else do we have? We have a 0.5 trade beginner. Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. We have the 0.5 fib retracement level, okay. Actually, this is just too long. This is just going to crowd it. And then what else do we have? We also have a 15-minute order block. I'm just going to mark it out for OB for simplified sakes. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. TM, thank you so much. Thank you. If you're going to teach me ICT, teach it right. Am I teaching it wrong, Mamel? Apologies if I'm trying to teach it wrong, but this seems right to me. You know, we all trade differently, so I cannot fit every single person's trading style. So I apologize if what I'm saying is nonsense to you, but I'm sure some people are finding some value from this. Okay, so let's now mark out the buy zone, which is our second area here. Let's go, let's draw our box. Boom, from this level all the way down. There we go. Okay, this is our second buy zone. There we go. There we go. Boom. Second buy zone is marked out here, which is gonna be from around 4,202 to 4,187. Okay, so that's going to be our second buy zone. And then let's now mark out our third buy zone, okay, which is down here. But however, this is a big push, guys. Obviously, we're not expecting prices to, I'm not even expecting price to come down to here today. Okay, guys, this is not for now exactly. This is also going to be for next week's targets, right? We have identified these levels. So whenever price is going to come into this, okay, then we're going to expect a reaction coming out of it. Okay, these are what these levels are for. Doesn't mean that exactly when price enters and taps into it, we're going to just spam a trade. Okay, that's not how these levels work, right? We just identified, Callum, thank you for the follow. We're just identifying areas on the chart where price is likely to react from. Okay, that's all these levels are. Areas on the chart where price is likely to react from. Okay, if we don't get a reaction, then no trade. But if we do get a reaction, then okay, this could be interesting. And then the next question is going to be, okay, we got a reaction from our levels. Second question, where does price want to go? Okay, where could we go? Where are the targets? You know, that's the sort of two questions that you want to be asking yourself. I think you do good and I understand. So thank you, Sandra. I appreciate it. Can you use Apex with Trader C? I have no idea, brother. Do you mark the zone or does the indicator do it yourself? Which indicator, SF90? The only indicator I have on the chart is just to mark out my previous session highs and lows. This is GC, right? If you mean gold, yes. It's gonna dump hard, Kara says. Maybe, yeah, potentially. We already had a pretty big dump yesterday, so let's see how it goes, right? The ideal scenario, guys, as I was saying, was that we are gonna come up into one of our sell zones, okay? And then we can take a juicy short targeting these buy zones, okay? However, if price does decide to dump first, well, we're prepared because we have these buy zones ready. So maybe price wants to come down to come up instead of coming up to come down, right? There's always two scenarios. Now, there isn't really a point of marking out this fourth buy zone because we will probably just do it again tomorrow, like on Sunday night when I do my market breakdown with the group, right? However, this area here, it's super far down. So there isn't really any point of us needing to mark this out. Okay, so let's just mark, these are the buy zones that I see. Okay, let's make sure that the text is all looking good so people can, in the group, can actually understand what is going on. A buy zone here. Okay. Zoot. Why did I not mark out what we have here? Sorry, guys, 1 second. I forgot to mark out what I have here, all the confluences. Oh. 1 second, let me verify before TikTok bans me. Holy moly, the amount of times that I forgot to verify this and my account got banned. Oh, there we go. There we go. We good. Inactivity during the live. I don't understand this. I'm literally moving my chart every 2 seconds. How is this inactive? Anyways, okay, so what do we have here that we said? We had a 15-minute fair value gap. We had a 15-minute fair value gap as well, FVG. Plus, we also had lows, resting liquidity from these two lows here. Okay, so resting lick. Let's just say resting lick. Okay, and then do we have anything else? Thank you for the follow, Marcel. I appreciate it. Thank you for the follow, Centro. Do we have anything else? No, not really. This is just the area, which is, you can see, guys, this is whenever there is a buy zone or a sell zone that doesn't have very many confluences, right? It is not the strongest zone in the world, right? But it could still give you a reaction. Okay, so we mark it out either way. Okay, boom, resting lick. Okay, let's take out this fair value gap. Okay, buy zone. There we go. And then also we do have this area as well, which is the previous day low and the candle without a bottom wick, right? Those are the two areas also on the chart. Okay, let's mark it out. Okay, I think that's good for a screenshot. Boom, put it in the Discord. Okay, buy zones marked out as well in case we decide to come down first. Okay, we we will be ready. Okay, that's good. That's our gold analysis done, guys. I'd say that we've done a pretty good job. We've got our sell zones, we've got our buy zones, so everything is ready to go. Okay, now let's go over to NASDAQ quickly. What is NASDAQ gonna do? Okay, this is gonna be the last thing that we're gonna chart up for NASDAQ. You can see, guys, look. This was a previous buy zone that I had marked out. What did price do yesterday during FOMC? I was sleeping during this time, but price comes down into our buy zone, right? And if we were awake, we would have waited for a reaction, which we got, and we would have probably been able to catch this move, right? So these buy zones are no joke, guys. Like, I'm telling you guys, people in the Discord, even yesterday, look, 2 days ago, I marked out this sell zone on gold. I said, this is the sell zone that I'm looking for on gold, right? And what did price do yesterday? What did price do? Look, let's just go back to that level. Let's just go back to that level. Look at this. What is this area? 4,380, right? You see this? 4,380. What did price do yesterday? Look, 4,380. We literally came up to it perfectly and sold off. So I'm telling you guys, these sell zones, they're no joke. They're no joke. Okay? So, you know, hope you guys are finding some value from this sort of stuff, because, you know, finding areas on the chart where there is multiple confluences lining up, that is something good, right? Even here, look at this. On NASDAQ, we already have identified this sell zone up above here. Why? What do we have? We have a fair value gap. We have the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level, okay? So that's already a very valid sell zone, right? Let's just exit everything. And you can see, guys, this is what you want to do with your sell zones, right? Or your buy zones. You want to set an alert, okay? These alerts have been a game changer for me. If you guys are not using alerts, please start using alerts. Okay, so whenever you want to mark out an area on the chart where you expect a reaction, instead of having to check the chart every 5 minutes to see if it's reached that level, right? Instead just set an alert, okay? And whenever price is going to come up to that level, you will get notified and you can check the charts, okay? If you guys don't know how to set alerts, what you want to do is, you see this little plus button when you're hovering, okay? You just want to press on the plus button, and then it's going to say add alert. Okay, and this is going to add you an alert for wherever price is, and you can use this and you can drag it for anywhere you want, right? You can drag this on the chart. So this is been a game changer. Okay, another tip also with alerts that you guys can do, which I love to do, okay, Steve, thank you for the follow, is, guys, look, for example, okay, if I am to enter a trade, a long or a short, okay, a long or a short, this is one of the best things. If you guys are emotional in your trades, okay, if you guys are emotional and you find yourself moving your stop loss, okay, if price is about to hit it, or you move your take profit, or all of those sort of things, whatever causes you to act on your emotions during a trade, okay, this is the easiest way to fix it. Okay, a lot of people, they say, okay, when I enter a trade, I'm just going to delete the app and go off. Okay, but that's just obviously not what you want to do, is it? You don't want to just delete the app and having to reinstall it every single time. Okay, so what I think is beneficial if you are someone who's emotional in a trade, is you set an alert on your take profit, okay, and you set an alert on your stop loss level. Okay, that being said, is the moment that you enter the trade, okay, you will not check the chart until one of these alerts get hit. Okay, here you can write a little encouraging message, right? This is what I like to do. Whenever I put an alert on my TP, I say, hey, good job, bro. Good job. Killed it, you know? So that when you receive that message, you're like, hell yeah, you know? And then you want to set an alert on your stop loss level, okay? And this, you don't want to be mean to yourself, right? You don't want to say, oh, you suck, bro, or, you know, some other nasty words that I can't say, otherwise I'll get banned. You want to be like, unlucky, stop loss, hit, let's learn how we can do better. Or you just say, learn how can do better, right? Because you never lose in the market if you learn from it, right? That's the mindset that you want to adapt. You either win or you learn. You don't lose. Okay, you either win or you learn. Get that into your mind, guys. This is really valuable information, because you need to reframe the way that you see losses in the market. Okay, because losses are inevitable. You will lose. The market will humble you many times. Okay, but if every time that you take a loss, you start being nasty to yourself, and you start being mean to yourself, and start saying things that don't motivate you, right? You're gonna end up quitting this game of trading. And this game is the people who make it, is the people who stick it in for the long run. Okay, so whenever you hit that stop loss and you get that alert, encourage yourself. Say, it's okay, right? We can do better. I can learn from it. I can journal from my mistakes. Okay, that is the key. That is the key. Reframe the way that you see losses in the market. Okay, reframe it. And it's all a mindset thing. Trading is all mindset. There is no one telling you how you should do things, how you should read the chart, right? It's just you versus you. And that's why the people who make it in the trading space are the people who have 100% accountability. Okay, you need to be accountable, and you need to take responsibility of the decisions that you take in the market. Okay, if you are not where you want to be yet, right, you need to have a moment of self-reflection. Okay, sit down with yourself. Okay, a lot of you guys are always distracted by noise, 24/7, distracted by noise. You need to sit down with yourself if you want to take trading seriously and say, okay, this is what my current situation is in trading. I've been trading for this amount of time. I can see that I'm still struggling with this. I'm still losing money due to this problem. What can I do to improve it? Right? No one is going to do this work for you guys. No one is going to do it for you, because trading is just you versus the charts. So the moment where you just sit with yourself and you say, how can I get to the next level? I want this trading thing to work. I know what I need to do. Why am I not following what I need to do? Why? What is the reason? What's the block? What's the block? Why do I keep moving my take profit targets? Why am I still greedy? Right? Why am I not journaling the trades even though I need to be journaling and I know I should? Right? All of these things, you need to be able to think and self-analyze. Right? Your mind is your biggest weapon, guys. Your mind is your biggest weapon. Okay, if you wake up and you are negative and you are down, right, the chances that that's going to reflect in your charts is high, right? You always want to try be positive, always want to say, okay, I got beaten down this time, I lost this account, I blew this funded account again, I blew this live account, but it's fine, because the next one I'm going to do better. Always don't quit, guys, because I promise you this trading skill, and I'm still on the come up. Please don't get the impression that I've completely made it in trading. No, I've just been in the game for long enough so I can try to improve, and I can speak on this subject because I've had to battle with it too, right? So I'm still on the come up just as you guys, okay? I'm just trying to get better as well, okay? But I'm just sharing what I know with you guys, and hopefully, this does help at least one of you. If it helps at least one of you, then my mission is clear. My mission is clear. Spiky, you're gonna trade XAUSD? Yes, I will check it during New York session. I will check XAUSD during New York session. We'll see if we can get a trade. I haven't taken one trade this week, guys. The only trade that I took was yesterday during FOMC with the demo account flip that we did on live. The only trade that I took was on a demo account today to the 10K to 100K flip for the fun of the live stream. That's it. Danny boy, thank you for the follow, brother. Danny boy, thank you for the follow. Thank you. All right, so for NASDAQ, we have reacted pretty strongly off this buy zone. Okay, we have reacted pretty strongly for this buy zone. So the question is, are we gonna want to come up from here? Okay, just a little bit, because we do have this sell zone marked out on the chart here. Okay, we do have this. Stefan, thank you for the follow. We do have this sell zone marked out here. So potentially on NASDAQ, right, we might want to have a little bit of a retracement to then continue higher. That is a possibility. Okay, whenever you see market selling hard, okay, down to a key level that you have marked out on the chart. Okay, for example, look at this. We had this move that really was an aggressive move down. Okay, we hit a higher time frame level, okay, and we got an immediate bounce up. Okay, whenever you see that, you always want to mark out at least the 50% of this move. Okay, because whenever a market bounces off an area really quickly with no retracement, as you can see, we only have up candles. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up candles in a row without one down candle, right? So the chances that you can bet is that if price does want to continue higher, we will have that retracement, right? We will have that retracement. So what you want to do is you want to mark it out from the low, okay, all the way up to the high, okay? And then you can start seeing, okay, where are my key levels? Where are my buy zones? Okay, so we have this 0.5 Fibonacci extension level right here. Okay, what is this level lining up with? Oh, well, great. Look, it's lining up with a 1 hour fair value gap. Perfect. That's already 2 confluences. Now let's scale down to the lower time frame. Can we see anything else lining up? We also have, perfect. We have, look, this 30-minute inverse as well. Look, price was previously created a bearish fair value gap. Price pushed above it, right? But we didn't tap back into it, right? We didn't tap back into this. So this is still a valid inverse. Okay, so let's write it down before we forget. We have a 30-minute inverse. Okay, we have a what was it? A 1 hour fair value gap. Okay, and we have a we have the 0.5 Fibonacci level. 0.5 Fibonacci level. Okay, what happened to the music? What happened to the music, man? Oh, silly ads. Silly ads. Alright, there we go. Okay. Now we can refine this. The buy zone doesn't have to be that big, right? Let's see if we can have anything else on the time frames. Yeah, we have 2 15-minute fair value gaps within this area, so that's perfect. Do we have anything else here? Yeah, we did have this 15-minute as well, but we have already tapped into it, so we're not really focused on this area anymore, right? Because price already came into it and we pushed off. However, with these areas, we're still untapped. Okay, so we've just identified our first buy zone right here. Let me mark this out. Boom, buy zone right here. Fibonacci, we have 30-minute inverse plus a 1 hour fair value gap plus a 0.5 fib level. Okay, perfect. That's our first area on the chart. So what does that mean? It means that if price was to come back into this area, okay, we would wait for a reaction. If we got a reaction, usually I wait for a reaction on the 5-minute time frame, okay, and then I execute on the 1 minute. That is what I wait for. I wait for a 5-minute break of structure. Then I wait for a 5-minute fair value gap to be created, a tap into that 5-minute fair value gap, and a reaction on the 1 minute, which is going to be the 1 minute inverse. If you guys have no idea what I just said, I'm sorry, but that's just what I look for. Like, I don't know how to simplify that anymore. Like, if you're a complete beginner, I know that probably just sounded like nonsense, but I apologize. Wait for a 5-minute fair value gap to be created. I wait for a 5-minute break of structure, a 5-minute fair value gap to be created, a tap back into it on the 1 minute, and then a 1 minute inverse to enter. Okay, I'll do it slow. So, this is what I wait for. 1, a 5-minute break of structure. Okay, a BOS. What is a BOS? I will go through this more tomorrow, since we're not going to be trading. But basically, the way that I trade break of structures, okay, is what is a high? A high is a up candle followed by a down candle. Okay, that is what a high is. Okay, up candle followed by a down candle. Okay, this makes a high. Okay, what is a low? A low is a down candle followed by an up candle. Okay, you can start seeing this everywhere on the chart, right? Look, a high, what is it? An up candle followed by a down candle makes a high. Okay, even here, look, up candle, an up candle followed by a down candle makes a high. Okay, now you guys probably don't have the chart blue and black like me, right? You guys might have green and red if you have the basic trading view colors, right? So that's the same concept applies, right? Green candle followed by a red candle is a high, okay? And then a red candle followed by a green candle is a low, okay? You can see here, look, black candle followed by blue is a low, okay? Black candle followed by blue is a low. Okay, there we go. You see these everywhere. Anyways, why am I explaining to this? Because a break of structure, okay, I am waiting for a candle to close above a high on the 5-minute. Okay, so what I will do, guys, pretend I was awake, okay, within this area. I had this buy zone marked out on NASDAQ. Okay, price came down into our buy zone. what do? Immediately I scale down to the 5 minutes. Okay, I go to the 5 minute time frame as soon as we enter our zone, and I wait for what? A 5 minute break of structure. A 5 minute break of structure. So what am I doing? I am watching the highs. I am watching the highs that are being created to wait for a candle closure above it. Okay, so look, pretend price tapped into the buy zone here. Okay, what am I waiting for? I am waiting for an up candle followed by a down candle to make a high. Okay, we made it here, right here. This is the first high that was created off our zone. Look, up candle followed by down candle, that's a high. Okay, did we get a candle close above? Candle closure above? No, we haven't got one. Did this candle close above? No. Did this candle close above? No. Guys, remember, it needs to close above. Look at this candle. This is where a lot of people get tricked out, right? Price comes up, right? We leave this wick, but we still close below, right? We still close below. Okay, so this is not a valid break of structure yet, right? And this is also why, guys, this is also why I would have probably not entered this trade, right? Because looking at this chart now, okay, we got the break of structure here, right? We got the break of structure here because look, okay, then when there is a new high being formed, look, a new high got formed. Look, an up candle followed by a down candle here. Up candle followed by a down candle. We made a new high. So what do, guys? I move the previous line from here, okay, and I move it to the new high that was created right here. And what did we see? The next candle closed above it here. This was our first official 5 minute break of structure off our buy zone. Okay, now if you were to be someone that we used to like follows their strategy to the T, okay, technically you would have entered here, right? Technically you would have entered here, and your stop loss should always be below the low, right? But I wouldn't have personally entered this trade. I mean, I don't know. It's a tricky one because this risk to reward for me. It's not good. Like the stop loss is way too big. This stop loss is way too big. I would have liked the break of structure. If the break of structure happens like around here, then I would have been like, okay. However, if the break of structure happened all the way up here, that's a huge stop loss. So I would have probably not even entered this move, right? And at the same time, what would I have waited for? Okay, guys, we got the break of structure, which is the first step. Okay, right here, this candle closed above the high, right? First step, break of structure, done. Second step, what do I wait for? I wait for a 5 minute fair value gap, which we formed right here. We broke structure, we formed a 5 minute fair value gap. Okay, so what would I expect? I would expect price to, we formed two. We formed one here and we formed the second one here. Okay, so what do I expect? I would expect price to tap into this, okay, into this 5 minute fair value gap, which we got here. Okay, the minute that we tap into this 5 minute fair value gap, what do? I scale down to the lower time frame on the 1 minute. Okay, and this is where the execution time frame is. Okay, where is it? Right here. Look. Okay, actually maybe I might have actually entered this trade now that I'm looking at it. Okay, look, this was the 5 minute fair value gap that we had. Okay, we are now currently looking at it on the 1 minute time frame. Okay, this is the last step for my entry. I wait for a tap into the 5 minute gap, and then I wait for a 1 minute reaction. Okay, usually a 1 minute inverse. So what am I watching? I'm watching for these fair value gaps to get closed above. Okay, we have made two fair value gaps here. Okay, in order for me to enter, I am waiting for these fair value gaps to get closed above. And what do you see? As soon as we tap into this 5 minute gap here, we push off, this candle closes above, and we get the inverse. So this technically would have been my entry here. This technically would have been the entry. Okay, and then you would have targeted other liquidity areas, right? I always have at least a 1 to 2 minimum risk to reward, right? 1 to 2 minimum risk to reward, and then all the rest is bonus. I always close out to at least a 1 to 2, 1 to 2.5, right? Because that's all you need really as an RR. Sometimes I'll make it run to 3. For example, I would have probably targeted this fair value gap here, which I would have seen that we had these highs resting below it, right? And this untapped, unfilled FVG, this would have probably been my target for the trade, okay? And which would have been exactly around a 1 to 2.3, which I'm happy with that. 1 to 2.3, I'm happy with that, right? This would have probably been the trade. Okay, but obviously we were sleeping, so we didn't take it. But just to give you guys an idea, okay, when we mark out these buy zones, that is what I wait for, right? I wait for a 5-minute break of structure. Okay, let me mark it out. 5-minute break of structure, so you guys can see it in visual. Okay, how do I mark this out without it being too cramped? Okay, first step, 5 minutes BOS. Okay, what is, I'm gonna look for a candle closure. Okay, candle closure above a high. Okay, I'm looking at highs, guys. I'm looking at highs because we're looking for longs, right? Because we're reacting off a buy zone. Okay, if we were reacting off a sell zone, then I would look for a closure below a low. Okay, then second step. Okay, let me mark this out like this. First step, boom. Okay, we got the candle closure break of structure. Okay, second step. Second step. I wait for a 5-minute fair value gap to get created. Okay, wait for a 5-minute fair value gap to get created. Okay, and price to tap into it, Okay, there we go. And as you can see, this is exactly what price did right here. Okay, we had created a 5-minute fair value gap and price tapped into it. Okay, next, okay, scale down to the 1 minute. Third step, thank you for the follow, Capri, thank you. Third step is scale down. Okay, this is probably complicated to say scale down. Go to 1 minute time frame. Okay, just go to 1 minute time frame and wait for a 1 minute inverse. Okay, inverse. Okay, that is my three-step entry process every single time that we get into a buy zone. Okay, thank you for the follow, DK, I appreciate it. Okay, this is the 3-step process. Okay, if you want to take a screenshot of that, feel free to take a screenshot. Okay, this is the 3-step process of the entry. Okay, obviously, guys, if we're looking for sells, then we would wait for a 5-minute bearish value up to be filled, and then we would wait for a 5-minute for a candle closure below a low instead of a high. Okay, this is for the bullish scenario. Okay, let me just take a picture of that. Let me just take a picture of that as well for the group. This can probably be helpful. I add to photos. All right. Okay. Well, now that's out of the way, right? We will go into that into more detail once we have a more educational, live stream. But now we're just going through the analysis, right? So we can cancel all that. That's just noise on the chart. Okay. So we've identified this buy zone here on NASDAQ. Okay. Now, what else could we potentially want to do if we don't decide to come down all the way down to this level, right? We decide to come down all the way down to this level. We decide to come up from here. Honestly, guys, I wouldn't really want to be entering longs from here, right? Because for 2 reasons. 1, the stop loss placement is just not good. 2, you're just going to be buying high, right? You don't want to be buying high ever, right? Unless you're some breakout trader, but you know, me personally, that's not the way that I trade. Okay, so I wouldn't be potentially entering long straight off the bat. They could play out. It could 100% play out. Okay, I'm not saying that it can't. I'm not saying we can't come up from here. But me personally, the way that I always wait for price to enter a high confluence area, preferably my buy zone. Okay, so what I would like for NASDAQ to do is hopefully in New York session, we get a sell-off before market opens. Okay, then we get a reaction and we can take this puppy long and target this area up above price here. Okay, however, guys, this is the scenario 1. This is scenario 1. As always have 2 scenarios. Okay, scenario 1 is this. For me personally, everyone trades the same way. This is how I read the market. Okay, scenario 2 is price comes up to our sell zone first, okay? And in that case, then I will be interested in looking for some shorts down to our buy zones, okay? So we will be prepared regardless of what price does, okay? We will be prepared, right? Let me just take this out and put it into the Discord. Boom. Okay. There we go. Put that into the Discord. Nasdaq. Boom. Two scenarios. Either we come up and then down, or we come down then up. Let's see. I love it. The community is active today. Right now I closed below a 5-minute last low in NQ. Yes, Ram, they did close below a 5-minute low, but look at the time. It's way too late. This is not trading time right now, right? We have pre-market opening, fairly soon. Not soon, actually, in an hour and a half. But this is the sort of time when it's too late into London and it's too early into New York. This is the sort of times where you get tricked badly. The market likes to trick you badly. Because whenever the market opens, especially on NQ, price will always shoot in either direction. Either price will shoot upwards or price will shoot downwards. So you don't really want to be in a position during that time when there is no session open, right? Timing and session times is one of the most important things, especially when it comes to your entry, right? That's why people who trade ICT and all of these other ways, they always preach kill zones, right? Because kill zones is a specific time during a session where the move is likely to happen, right? I don't personally respect kill zones fully 100%, but I will definitely not be entering a trade when there is super late into a session and before a session has even started. Central, I don't trade a specific mechanical model, brother. I just look at all the time frames, starting from the weekly, working my way down, and I mark out key levels on the chart where there is the confluences that lining up, right? Where there is the, for example, 30-minute inverse, 1 hour for value gap, 0.5 fib level, maybe an order block, right? These are my high confluence zones. I wait for a price to tap into it, and I do my entry criteria, which I just went through. 5-minute inverse, 1 minute fills the 5-minute, see what 5-minute inverse. 5 minute for value gap, 1 minute tap, 1 minute inverse entry. What does no wick candle mean? I know you're gonna get me on some tantrum with this no wick candle. I'm always preaching this no wick candle. So a no wick candle, well, it's basically a candle without a bottom wick. As you can see on the chart, every single candle has a bottom and top wick. Okay, every single candle has a bottom and top wick. So whenever you see a candle without a bottom wick, okay, or without a top wick, that is something that shouldn't happen, right? So the market will tend to treat these like fair value gaps. They'll tend to treat these like order blocks. Okay, as you can see, this is a perfect example. We had marked out this candle beforehand, right? And what did price do yesterday? We came down, we tapped it perfectly, and then we pushed up. Okay, we can also use these candles with no wicks to determine bias on a higher time frame, right? I don't know if you guys were in this live stream. I don't know how many of you guys were in this live stream during this week on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. However, on NQ, on the weekly time frame, this candle here, whenever we opened up on Sunday night, we just shot straight up. On Sunday night, right? And we had left this candle. It didn't have a bottom wick. I don't know if you guys remember that, right? On NQ, we didn't have a bottom wick on the weekly time frame. However, surprise, 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 yesterday, what did we do? We had that sell move down and we made that bottom wick, okay? However, this is interesting because on gold, right? If you look at the gold candle, look at this. The gold candle on the weekly time frame doesn't have a bottom wick anymore. Okay, it doesn't, not anymore, sorry. It never created it this week because on Sunday night when we opened, we shot straight up. And what did I tell everyone in the live? Always, every time that a weekly candle opens and we just shoot up in one direction, okay, we are just temporarily moving up to then come down, right? That is also partly why I was so confident in shorts yesterday with FOMC, because that was the only thing that could have happened this week that could have given price a very aggressive move to move lower, right? Yesterday, guys, look, price was all the way up here yesterday, right? but we hit that area and I was like, right, FOMC is the only thing that could really make gold sell off, right? And as you can see, currently we are selling off. Okay, we are selling off, and we have just tapped into our buy zone now on gold, right? On gold, we have just tapped into our buy zone here. Okay, now I'm not currently interested in taking any trades now because, as you said, it's out of session times, right? It's out of session times right now, so I'm not interested in taking any trades, which is just unfortunate, right? Because right now, imagine we were to get a reaction off our buy zone, right? Our entry criteria would have got hit, but we're outside of session times, so we're still not going to enter that because that is crucial. Okay, so you always want to make sure everything is lining up before entering these trades, right? At least I always make sure. You can do what you like. Okay, now we can either sell off straight away, straight through this buy zone, right? And then it means we're probably going to come down to the second one, right? We will see where New York opens. I really hope that we don't sell off everything here and take all our targets. That will be unfortunate, right? Hopefully we do come up, right, from this buy zone. Hopefully we do come up, and then we can get, a continuation lower for New York. That would be the plan. Anyways, with that being said, guys, it is 2 p.m. here. I haven't had lunch yet. I'm still fasted. I am absolutely starving. I appreciate every single one of you in this live stream. Thank you for those guys that have been watching me literally from the start of this. I think we're live for like an hour and a half. Okay, I'm gonna go have some lunch and then I'm gonna be live again for New York. New York is gonna be in 2 hours time. Okay, I will be live again and I will be trading live every single day. Okay, if you guys want to join the free Discord and the free Telegram, the link is in my TikTok bio. Okay, thank you for all the follows, thank you for all the likes. 5.9k likes is insane. Please go to TikTok, click the link, press the 3 dots at the top and press open an external browser. Okay, that's going to take you into the Telegram. Okay, and the Telegram is where I gather everyone. And for those guys that want to understand these concepts, you guys want to simplify trading, because that's what my Discord is for, is to find a method that simplifies trading for you. Okay, it's completely free. The only requirement is that you trade on the same broker platform as everyone else. Yes, I am affiliated with my broker. Just to be transparent, I get a commission every time someone signs up, but that is how I can keep the Discord free for everyone. Okay, signing up costs 0. It just takes 2 minutes of your time. That's all it costs. But the platform pays me, and then we can both make and get value. Because guys, I don't have the Lamborghini parked in the garage yet, right? So if I'm spending every single minute of my day focusing and helping other people trading, I'm not going to be doing it for free. So at least I can get paid by the platform. That's why I do it. Okay, and it makes sense. None of you will be working a job for free for the rest of your life. The moment that I wake up to the moment that I go to bed, all I do is help people with their trading, and I trade. That's literally my whole day. So if I can get paid from it in some way and not having to use you guys' money but the platform's money, that is the way that I like to do it. So follow the Telegram, get into the Telegram, and I'll see you there. With that being said, Spiky is gonna be out in 3, 2, 1. Peace and love.